yeah, black sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. Just sent Yanga an invite, so hopefully he'll join us if he didn't forget. Okay, so real quick, while we wait on Yanga, I want to talk about Russia and Iran just made a pact together. So that's in the news, and then also we have Russia and America saying they're willing to do more prisoner swaps. So it's not over with the prisoner swaps. So basically, we have both sides willing to do some more swaps. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for both sides, for America and Russia. So shout out to all parties involved in that, willing to make more prisoner swap trades. That's a good thing. Um, yeah, it's a real good thing. Um, Now the thing that interests me, oh shit, is what I'm wondering about, if they're gonna try to maybe restore, but I guess they're not gonna do it during the proxy war, but it would be nice if they could restore diplomats on both sides, here with the Russian diplomats and over there with the American diplomats. But right now, uh, I guess anybody getting caught and locked up over here in America from Russia is going to be in bad shape, and vice versa. Anybody, well, I guess no, I guess there's going to be a no-fly zone after this. So I guess after this point, we don't have to worry about no more Brittany Grinder situations. So right now, we just have to, hey, Trevor, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So yeah, I guess we just have to wait because the situation, like I said, both sides are still willing to do prisoner swaps, but uh, will will the diplomats be restored on both sides? I don't know. That's the part that's not looking good. But um, I'm all for the prisoner swaps, but the end game doesn't look good simply because uh, there's still, the military industrial complexes is going to continue to fund this proxy war with no they're talking about bringing these advanced plane bombers out on both sides, on our side and then on the Russian side. So, and then by Iran making a pact with Russia, that allows more drones, of course, more drones, the technology that's coming out of Iran. And then, y'all know we got China. So, um, my concern, let's just see, just got home from, that's Trevor. She said, just got home from work since 5 this morning. I'll catch the replay. I'm tired. It's funny. Black men in America don't get released for the same weed charge. Hey, man, Trevor, that is so true, brother. Especially dealing with guns. I mean, hell, but it's all political. It's all political, and this is why um, we have to have some type of political knowledge in the game, because when you don't know politics, man, it seems like not only politics but law and just the way things work. And shout out to Angel. He had an interesting conversation. He says, I'm paraphrasing, religious people or spiritual people or something in the world of political something or politically driven society, I think, and I'm butchering it up, but yeah, basically you get the gist of it. And it's like, yeah, we have to balance the political aspect. We have to balance our international. I mean, we gotta balance it all because if not, we'll be the rest of the world will be doing circles around us. Now, again, I've said in a past show that now individually as black people, I think now this might sound like a confusing statement. Black people individually are great. Like we're masters of I mean, we're great, but it's when we come together as a group, man, we're horrible, terrible. And I don't think it's meant for us to be a united people. I think it's I mean the proof is in is as individuals we thrive, like we become masters at life when we just do for self. But when we try to do things as a collective, that's when shit falls apart. The nigga shit comes in, the backstabbing comes in, the backbiting, and just a bunch of just it gets horrible. It gets absolutely horrible when you try to unite black people, and it just in the long term, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. So yeah. Anywho, I went on a little tangent right there, but yeah. So yeah, this thing with Russia, I'm not gonna be long. I don't think Yang is coming on tonight. He might be tired from working. So yeah, we'll do just a little spurt here tonight. But and then we'll definitely recap tomorrow because I know Trevor. Um, there's been some changes in SVDL, so um, we definitely have to stay posted for the new changes, debaters and people, fans of SVDL and whatnot. Yeah. Shout out to the league. Shout out to Solar. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to the debaters. Yeah. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see the changes. Well, hopefully, I think everything should be as scheduled. So hopefully everything. Like I said, I know Blues debate is coming up. Blue and Yanga, that should be a great debate. And then me and Asar. What up, Deacon? What up? What up? What up? Me and Asar will be debating on the first. So we got the 20. I think Yanga and Blue. Oh man, I don't know what date. Oh gosh. See, that's why I wish Yang was on here. He could tell us the damn date he's debating. But me and Asar are definitely debating on the first. Like I said, Blue and Yanga's topic is it better for us to be Americans or better for us to be Hebrew Israelites? Well, obviously, Americans over Hebrew Israelites any day because you can't point to a Hebrew nation nowhere on this fucking nowhere that is successful. So yeah. Yanga's into his house.
What's good? What's good? What's good, man?
Hey man, I was just
Peace, peace, chat. You what?
I was just briefing everybody on your debate coming up and my debate coming up, man. But yeah, man. Me personally, I think Blue has a steep hill to climb because he really doesn't have a. You know what? You know what? Y'all, when is your debate, man? Y'all make sure y'all go to that debate, man. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a classic.
Hold on, there we go.
Okay.
Blue, I spoke with Blue a little earlier.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I spoke to Blue a little earlier. My bad. I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Okay, no problem.
With pull Papa. Yeah, and we working with the title now, man. We're tweaking the title.
Oh, okay, good, good.
Of the debate, but it promises to be good. Like, for the first title was is it more beneficial to be Black American or Black Hebrew or Black Israeli? And then I spoke to him earlier and we touched and we changed the debate. Is it beneficial for Black Americans to be known as Black Israelis? But I don't like that title. So I need to talk to Blue. Yeah, I reached back out. We need to go back to the original. One of the reasons we changed it is because we were looking at it from a standpoint of taking an affirmative or a negative position on it. But I don't like the title. It actually to me changes the debate a little bit.
Right. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
yeah,
Yeah. And the
yeah,
title's kind of clunky. The new one's kind of clunky, man. It sounds,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it sounds real clunky. Yeah, I would prefer the original title too, man. And plus, I mean, that wheel was already in motion. So
Yeah,
why? I mean, hell, it's only what, a week away or something. Yeah, Blue
yeah,
man. Yeah,
yeah.
Blue man. What you doing, baby?
I gotta put it in the chat, man. If you out there listening, Blue man, we need to discuss that. Call me or call Solar. Solar and I just tried to reach out to you. Yeah, we got to wrap around that title. I'm like, okay. I hope I didn't
Yeah,
fall for the old banana in the tailpipe trick.
I'm with you on that, man. Yeah, that sound like it might have to be postponed because that sound like that title's
Well, we just
clunky.
yeah, we he and I don't think he would. I'm hoping he'll go back to original title, but who knows? We have an opportunity to talk. But yeah, I don't like the new title.
Yeah, I don't
What's going
either.
on, MP?
Yeah, your mic is like got a
Yeah,
short too. Yeah.
yeah. Peace. What's going on, everybody?
Peace,
Hey,
man. So yeah. So that promises to be a good debate. I'm looking forward to debating Blue on it.
yeah, no, like I said, I just want to make sure y'all go back to the original title because that second
Yeah,
was kind of clunky as hell. Yeah,
yeah,
that shit is
yeah.
very clunky.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. But MD man, what's going on, man?
Nah, not much, man. Not much. Sitting in the middle of nowhere in Alabama. I'm just chilling, man.
Okay. Did you hear
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Russia and Iran?
I ain't been able to catch up with any news today, man. It's been a long day. A
Okay,
long day. Yeah.
right. So they made a some type of new pact or something. Uh, so basically, Iran, yeah, they have Russia's back. Anything they need, because they providing Russia with the drones. So yeah, I thought that
Oh,
was
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'll look into it later on, man. But yeah,
Okay,
I ain't been
cool.
able to catch up with any news.
Okay, cool deal. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, we got this debate with Yang and Blue coming up, man. And Yang had just informed me they Blue wanted to switch the title around. Damn, I'm still ooh. Yeah, you had to talk to Blue Yang. That title just clunky. It just
Yeah, I don't like the new title either.
yeah.
So we'll have it. We and I have an opportunity to rap about it. Go back to
Oh,
this, see if we can get it back to the original title. Like I said,
yeah.
I was at work, moving around and stuff. But once I got off, had my little coffee, and had an opportunity to sit and think about it, I'm like, you know what? I don't really like that title.
Yeah. I don't like it either. It just it's just it doesn't even flow nice. It's
Hmm.
clunky to the ears, man. It's
Hmm.
like my
Hmm.
ears
Right.
like I'm about 2 seconds away having an epileptic seizure listening to that title,
Okay.
boy.
Okay. Man.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a clunky ass title, man. That shit is clunky as hell.
Go. Exactly.
Yeah, man. I thought
Question for Yanga. Oh, my bad, my bad. Real quick, question for Yanga.
Uh huh.
Um, because I don't know if you're gonna be available tomorrow when Trevor's on here. So Trevor was he was posting a little concern about the frequency of the debates
Yeah.
and like as far as having something more structured as far as the schedule. Like what's your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah. I like to. Yeah. I don't think we're debate as frequently as we probably should, but I know that we don't. I know that we don't have a lot of the debaters. I know a lot of debaters left. So I don't know. I don't know what's on that. I'd like to see us pick it up a little bit more. And my mouth is closer to my ears, but I definitely like to see us pick it up a little bit more
Okay,
because
yeah,
the
because I
debates
know
are
I know
far the
Trevor.
debates are far between.
Yeah.
And I'm already, like I said, I'm scheduling on my second one. Son has his second one. We have some debaters haven't had their first ones yet.
right, like
Right.
Madon Kemet, yeah. Yes,
So
I was looking
yeah.
forward to Madon. I was looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to who else hasn't debated yet? Scheme. I was looking forward to Scheme. So yeah,
Scheme,
yeah.
Akasha, uh, That's really about it. And then we'd be ready to rotate them again, man. Coming. So I think it's sounds like a trap. How is that a non-biblical debate? Right,
Right.
right, right,
Oh
right.
man.
I thought that too, man. I felt really when by the time I got home and unwind, I was like, ooh. I was like, damn. I
You
think
did a
I just
Scooby Doo.
got. I did a Scooby Doo. I felt real Scooby Dooish then. I was like, damn, I just got. It took
Right.
it off for me, how I was gonna avoid it from being biblical. Uh, if keeping with the initial title, is it beneficial? Is it more beneficial to be labeled Black American or Black Israeli?
Right.
That freed me up in my debate to keep it non-biblical
Right.
because it's a comparison type of thing. Then the way
Right.
that it switched, though, is it beneficial for Black Americans to be labeled Black Israelis? I'll be known as Black Israelis. It switches the debate. Now it has me arguing the cons of being an Israeli and not the pros of being Black American.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
I
didn't want to
do.
get caught up in that. I don't know enough, nor have I ever cared enough to really study in depth
Hello.
the cons of being an Israeli or a Hebrew outside of basic mainstream understandings, my personal theological biases, my racial and ethical, is that the word? Ethnicity,
Yeah.
ethical
Uh-huh.
biases
Yeah.
that I would have from being labeled. So I don't even know enough about them to really put up a strong argument. But I do know enough about being Black American to put up a strong argument
Thanks.
against being anything other than. You can bring your Black Israeli, bring your Black Arab, bring your Black whatever against being Black American. And that's something I can debate because that's something that I
Facts.
know about.
Right. It's more tangible. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot
So
more
yeah.
to me, a lot more. That's why I can debate. It's a lot more. I couldn't debate the cons. The biggest con that I would see of being a Black Israeli label, Black Israeli, is that there is nothing to compare that to except for cults, Yahweh ben Yahweh, fucking, and every other cult that I've seen. The fact that they are already broken into, isn't it like about 20 million Hebrew factions over here now? The fact
Oh
that
no, my bad. I'm sorry. What's a Black Israeli?
I don't know. That's the other thing. I have no idea. That's the other what he's gonna get me on. I have no idea.
I mean the prefix Israeli would be tied to the nation itself.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you can't like I'm confused.
So I was gonna go use that too. How the Black Hebrews from Chicago went over there and not even and are excluded from Israel. That Israel doesn't recognize them as won't give them citizenship, doesn't recognize them enough to even be a part of Israel. So I don't even know what a Black Israeli is. So that was going to be interesting. That was going to be interesting. I was lumping them in with Black Hebrews. I was going to make them all synonymous, use it interchangeable. Yeah, but that would be my argument. That's part of my argument. That right there too, MD, is like, what the hell is a Black Israeli? The Israelis themselves over there don't accept the Black Hebrews that have migrated from America over there. And in fact, I remember reading one time, and I was going to look that up, that they had found some Black Jews so old that they had to bring, or that their language was so
Right.
old that they had to bring their scholars out to talk to these tribe of Black Jews that they had, but they still didn't accept them. In fact, there's so many incidences of racism. I remember one time when the Black Jews was giving blood over there, that the report got out that the Israelis had dumped all the Black blood.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
And remember in 2020 during COVID, when they were doing when they were taking the houses from
Yeah.
from the Falasha and the other ethnic Jews over there,
Yep.
just
Yep.
straight up taking them like eminent domain. Like, well, you can't even really call it eminent domain. They were just jacking the houses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Say like
Yeah,
they,
wow.
they got it on video with the Jew taking the house. Say, if I don't take it, another one will. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's how
So
they
yeah,
rock
I
it.
mean, yeah. So yeah, as far as being is like again, Israeli is a prefix for a nationality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of confused on that verbiage in the topic. But
Right. I was wondering if that was the catch. Did he know something I didn't know? Was
Yeah.
Israel passing out secret
Right,
citizenship
right.
to Negroes or something? I'm like, damn, what the, you know what I'm saying? Does he know something
yeah,
I don't know? So
and again, the only example that you would have is the Demona Israelites.
yeah.
That's the only example. I don't even think you could put that placement on the topic as far as like the philosophy. I don't think you could do that. The only
Nah, that's
prefix
totally made
that
up.
would go to, yeah, the only prefix that would go to is the Demona Israelites. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bit
The
mislead. It's either
Demona
misleading or it's
Israelites, though,
confusing.
the Demona Israelites.
Yeah, because they're originally black, like they're descended from Black Americans. So
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, you could make an argument as to if they're validated in terms of being a part of Israel, the nation.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
argument, but I mean, from a technical standpoint, they would be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about a black Israeli, black being like us, Israeli being the nation,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
the only example that you could come up with that term. Like other
Yeah.
than that, it's either misleading or confusing. Either one.
Maybe a little both. A
Right.
little both. That's what I was. You know what, though? It's funny you say that because I was listening for the catch too when he first said it. I'm like Israeli, but I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say anything. I said, all right, that's gonna be his monkey toe. That's why I'm put him in the monkey toe right there. I'm like a black Israeli. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's a
From a reality standpoint, if you were to go to Israel and go to Demona and use that term, I guess they would kind of understand it. But you couldn't go to no philosophy Jew and say they're gonna ask you like, what the hell is that?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see his take on that. That's gonna be real interesting.
Y'all gotta change that title though, man. That's
Yeah,
I'm not feeling that, bro. I'm not feeling
yeah,
that. It's just
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
would have
too
preferred.
biblical.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. I would
It
prefer the
is.
original, original title better. At least it's more tangible. This one is just like both of y'all just reaching for the sky and freestyling over something like mm-mm.
I
No.
mean, basically, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I feel that way too. Basically, it's like I said. Once I got home and started thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that is a terrible. That sucks. The title sucks, and it changes. And I'm like, damn, and it changes the debate. I like I said, I was at work, and I'm trying to think on. I'm like, okay, it doesn't change it too much. Maybe we can work with it. Yeah, let's rock with it. And I got here, and I was like, sat down for a moment, had a cup of coffee. I'm like, nah. Yeah.
When did Blue notify you today?
Yeah, he and I spoke a little earlier today.
Oh shit. Yeah,
So that's why I said I know it's not even a major, and he probably won't trip it. It's just a matter of making a phone call. I called Solar and I reached out. We were unable to contact him, so I'm sure it's just a matter of making a phone call. I don't think he really will have a big issue about switching it back. I think he's thorough like that. You hear me sending them shouts out, Blue? I think you're thorough like that, brother.
right, right.
Yeah. So, yeah. But shouts out, man, for the debate. I appreciate him giving me the debate. But I damn sure want to get back to the original title. It gives a little. I can't do anything with that. I can't
Yeah,
do
me too.
anything
Me
with
too.
with the new title. Is it beneficial for Black Americans to be known as Black Israelis? I can't do nothing with that. I mean, I can't. It's too. Yeah, it's like what you said. It's or like what MD said. You know, it's confusing. At least, you know what I'm saying, or misleading at worst.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What's up with you? You ready for your debate? What's up with your debate with Ansar?
I hope it's still on, as far as I know, and we still doing it. So I need to. I hadn't heard from Asar since then. I guess he's been doing his studies, but let me just let him know this, man. If he has any, well, and this is for you, MD. Did you get to listen to the track that I put the video on?
Yeah. I listened to it a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hoping everybody will get to listen to a Tony track before the debate, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to play. Hey, what up, Free Spirit? I don't think I'm gonna be for copyright purposes. So, and I don't think he's gonna be able to play it either. So it's gonna be just a debate as far as just like just telling the facts. So I mean, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
That's
really
going to be
good.
an interesting debate.
Yep.
That is going to be an interesting debate. What are you going to do if he starts trying to handle you like he handled Rio? If he just doesn't answer the questions, if he just starts being obnoxious or even outright insulting, are you going to be able to handle that?
Oh yeah. That shit don't bother me. Yeah.
Okay.
That shit don't bother me, man.
Okay.
Because number one, I know it's a tactic to try to throw people off
Mm-hmm.
at the debate. And like I said, I told him as long as he would stay within the parameter of the debate,
Mm-hmm.
then he's not going to be able to do no type of mudslinging towards Tony without hurting Jimmy. So that's not, yeah, I don't expect him to. In fact, I gave him a little picture of Jimmy and his white girlfriend. So I said, yeah, don't, let's just keep it clean. So to give
Okay.
you an idea, yeah, you can't do none of that. No mudslinging like that. Can't do that.
Well,
Let me ask you this. Oh, my bad. Let me ask you
no,
this, Black Son. How technical do you think you can get in this debate as far as like the guitar itself without confusing the audience?
I'm not gonna get
I
technical.
was thinking
Yeah.
about that earlier.
Um, I'm not gonna get technical at all. I'm gonna keep it real basic. It's gonna be real basic. It's gonna be so basic. And in fact, you don't even have to be into rock and roll to hear my argument. My argument is gonna be so basic that it's like, okay, it's gonna be clear. That's all I can say. It's gonna be so clear, MD. And I'm not gonna get technical. It's just gonna get, like I said, it'll be basic information. Basic information on the guitar, basic information on what makes Tony great. It's gonna be real basic. It's gonna be really basic to follow. So that's just my take on it. And that's without even playing any type of music. That's why I'm saying I'm playing the music during. Hopefully, everybody look at the little promo. That's Tony Iommi solo, and that one solo is just as great as any of Jimmy's solos. But I'll explain all that.
Well, you understand what I mean when I say technical, right? I'm talking about like notes and like power strokes and stuff like that. Like I don't think the majority of the audience or like if they don't know anything about guitars, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that's why I wasn't going to go that route, because I don't want to. I can't really explain the technical side with notes. All I can say is that, as far as explaining notes, because I mean, music is really subjective, right? At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
so we have to look at other attributes and elements that make what makes a guitar player great. Besides, because somebody can listen to Jimmy and say, "Oh man, I like Jimmy," and then somebody can listen to Iommi and say, "Oh, I like Iommi." So it's really subjective. So we have to go beyond just, the guitar solos and rhythm guitar. We have to look at, got to look at their body of work. We got to look at, just, we got to look at their, we just got to look at I want to say just their achievements. You know what I'm saying? Without giving away too much.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see which route you take.
Okay,
I want to
okay.
see which route Asar take.
Asar's going to take the typical route. He's going to say Jimmy play guitar with his teeth. Then Jimmy played guitar behind his back, and Jimmy played the Star Spangled Banner, and he's going to do the typical. And I'm assuming Asar really is not a musician as far as like a guitarist. I'm assuming he's into R&B and whatever he's into, but he's going to give you the typical explanation why Jimmy is great. He thinks Jimmy's great because other people said Jimmy's great. And technically, damn, without giving too much, people say Jimmy's great without even knowing why he's so great. Why they even say that? Me, I'm gonna break down exactly why Tony is great.
Okay, cool.
Today to somebody and they were like, "Oh shit, never looked at it that way." Yeah, this is a white boy explained it to too today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
White boy didn't know that. What I knew. And he's like, "Oh shit, that changes the whole dynamic." So yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we got some. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting ass debate. I'm curious to see how he's gonna handle that. How my man's gonna go about that one.
He'll probably start distracting and doing the same thing he did at Rio debate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's what I'm
expecting
kind of
that.
thinking. That's what I'm kind of thinking. That's what I was asking you. Oh, excuse me. Are you gonna be frustrated? I'm not gonna hang out with you guys long. I can see that coming. Was you gonna be would you be frustrated? Uh, would you be frustrated if he tries that same shit with you?
Yanga, what he did to Rio, that kind of stuff really doesn't frustrate me.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Rio. I understand why Rio felt, but me, I see things differently. It's like when people do stuff like that, it's to knock people off their square.
Yeah.
And once I'm on my square, I
People
gavel a person
knock
like
you out.
that's
Yeah.
why I got the gavel, because people
Mhm.
are good at doing 3-card monis, especially people from the Bronx, New York.
Mhm.
And yeah, it just, I know how to recognize 3-card monis in any type of form, whether it be insulting form or being, oh, I'm more prestigious, I went to Ivy League college, or all that bullshit.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm the master of recognizing 3-card monis, whether it's
Mm.
gleaming 3-card monis or whatever it is, or nope, see, you said, brother. No, all
Mhm.
that shit. Yes, all that's 3-card money at the end of the day.
Yeah. 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 To distract. Absolutely.
Yeah, to distract. Yep.
Absolutely. So who's your debate? Who's your next debate? You got somebody you trying to see after Asar?
I'm trying to see Rio on that pipeline debate. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay, I
But
heard that.
if not that debate, then I'll come up with something. But that's in the tuck. If I see Rio, we're doing that pipeline debate. So
Right.
I guess Soul has to maneuver me after I beat Asar's ass. I guess he has to maneuver me around some other debaters. That's fine. I got other topics that I can come up with that are just as fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But just know, if me and Rio cross paths, we're doing that damn pipeline debate. There's no way
Okay.
around that. Yeah.
Y'all doing that one. I think I'm gonna have to after Blue too. I think that's probably gonna be the next one I put out is get a debate with Rio. Then we still got Scheme in the when is Scheme in the Cautious debate?
That I'm not sure, brother. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that one. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was supposed to be the first debate.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the very first one, and then next thing I know, it was you and KOT. Shout out to KOT, and then it was me and Blue.
Yeah.
So now it's you and Blue, and now it's me and Asar. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And Asar's already debated Rio, so I don't know. So shout out to Scheme and Akasha. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, I think this is we gonna put out there like shit. I'm gonna tell. I guess I'll share with the listening audience out there what I was sharing with you, and this may be a little premature, but I'm gonna talk to Sola about the idea that Trevor and MD and a couple of Inyame, a couple other people had about just having spot debates, and even if talk to Soul about it and he sponsor, and even if we just do it over here or whatever, let people come up that don't not necessarily in the league but want to get their debate on. The arena's known for blood sport, and as far in between as the debates have been, I don't think it would be a distraction. If anything, it will probably just amp up and add on to the excitement of the debates to come, and it could serve as a potential training ground and recruitment ground for other debaters to join the league. But having something that doesn't really sign people to contract or hold them to so much time, the more you think about it, is like, damn, that isn't a bad idea. A couple people want to jump in for a couple debates and stuff like that. That really isn't a bad idea. Peace.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, you got Inyame. I believe Trevor wanted to get a match in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think a lot of people would be open to that. So it would just the ball would fall in Solar's hand. I mean, in Solar's court, because like you said, you got people who wouldn't mind doing one-offs who really don't want to, I guess, commit to a long term. Because like Inyame, he has kids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he said he's willing to give like a one go. And I know Trevor, he said he was down with it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, that sounds like it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I see that. I see that. Well, hey, what's your take on Solo's video last night, Yang? What's your take on that?
About the Deion Sanders thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see y'all. Now listen, y'all don't run me out of town. I'm not a big sports fan. I don't know really anything about sports. I've never been, I grew up, my father was kind of crazy. My father would call that black exploitation and da 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 da. So it was a whole different mindset. So I never really grew up doing sports. Now my wife and my boys that's what they do. They're for everything from the damn
Falcons.
Super Bowl to the World Cup. They just finished watching the World Cup. I mean,
Yeah.
they in every damn sport known to man. She, used to do track and field back in the day. My son's into soccer and all that stuff. So every sport that come on TV, they watch. Me, I'll go get a book or something. I've never really, I've never really
Yeah.
been into it. But I'm gonna check it out because it's commission, it's Solar. What was he saying about prime time?
Well, I mean, we talked about it a little bit a couple days ago, didn't we, Black Son?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I agree pretty much with what Sola said as far as the program in which he exited from. It's basically about to go like it's going to collapse. That's basically what Sola was saying last night, and I agree 100%. He went to an institution that, for all intents and purposes, it's a media circus at this point. Yeah, he's benefiting from it because it's going to escalate his inevitable rise to the NFL as a coach. That's what he wants. But in the process, he just basically destroyed historically black college football program because of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah, I pretty much agree with what Solo said last night.
Wow, I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, I'm
Well, I
gonna have to
But
guess
watch.
Trevor, he's on the opposite end of the
yeah,
spectrum.
Trevor
So
gonna have something to say about it. I can tell already, man. Shout out to Trevor. He's gonna have something to say about it. Shout out to you, Trevor, man. And yeah, man. Yeah, I think um yeah, I think Trevor's gonna have something to say about it. So yeah.
Say about the video. Trevor just challenges the commissioner to a debate.
Yeah. And see, that's what we're talking about. One-offs, man. That would be a good one-off right there. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That would be a
yeah.
great one-off. This to you. MD and
I know you explained it. I know you explained it, but I don't agree. But I know you explained it.
He got the little emoji of the man with his hand on his right.
oh yeah. Oh. See, this is why one-offs are needed, man. This is why
Mm.
one-offs are needed. I mean, this right here, people can come in real quick, debate, and then shoot, hey, Inyame,
Yeah,
hey,
man, peace. What's
yeah,
good,
speaking
brother?
of Inyame, yeah, man.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and check that. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out and see what commissioner is talking about.
Right. I'll
Yeah.
put it to you like this. I don't necessarily disagree with him leaving. That's not the issue. Like that's what coaches do. You know what I mean?
Right.
They go on to greater pastures, right? But in terms of what he said initially about trying to elevate HBCUs and give them more prominence when it comes to college football and how we exited, not only abruptly but without managing any support behind him. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you were going to leave, okay, that's cool. At least set up a staff where you feel comfortable enough leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't do that.
But MD, are we still talking about economics at the end of the day? I mean, every structure needs a dollar behind it, and if to even have managers and all that stuff, but because and this is why, man, I wish damn Yanga and Sar would have had that debate, Reagan versus Trump, because Trump gave the largest contribution to SBCUs. Nobody wants to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, it goes back to economics though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about like college football is economics. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
But again, like we go back and use the example of the sponsorships that he was able to secure based off of his name alone, not based off of his track record as being a coach, based off of his name alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once those contracts are up, they're going to leave. They no
Yeah.
longer have a reason to be there,
Mm.
and that's money that Jackson State is going to lose.
Yeah.
But MD, I mean, don't they all do? I mean, go to college and get into the F and don't they all do this to better themselves
It,
eventually? Like, I guess to
yeah,
step up
correct.
the
But
ladder.
we're talking about a different. It's one thing to go from a Power Five school to the NFL or go to a small
Right.
JUCO school up to a Power Five school. It's another thing to go from an HBCU to a Power Five school.
That's right. Yeah.
Now again, and I can only go off of what he said initially when he first got there. You know what I mean? He made certain predictions and commitments that haven't been fulfilled yet.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I mean? Oh, there you go. There you
Trevor
go.
couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. What up, Trevor?
Hey, what's
So
up?
again, my issue is not him leaving. Like that's not the issue. The issue is the support system not being maintained and the commitments that he made prior to him exiting. That's the issue, and that's what Solar was talking about last night.
Am I in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yanga, you there? Yanga.
hey,
Yeah, I'm
Yanga.
here.
Okay.
hey,
Okay. Okay. Everybody's here. Okay.
I'm supposed to be asleep because, like I say, I've been up since 5 o'clock and I'm just now getting home not too long ago. But I couldn't resist this. Solar and everybody know I love Solar Man, but Solar said out of his mouth that Deion Sanders ruined Jackson State. And and I want to challenge him on that. I'm saying this right now. So Angel, if you listening, Solar, I want to challenge you right now on that particular stance. You have to show me how Jackson State is ruined because of Deion Sanders leaving them. And that's the challenge because you can't show me that.
Oh shit! You
That's
hear
the
that?
challenge.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Because
So,
and then he goes so far as to start pulling Umar Johnson clips. Like, come on, man. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Solar admitted though, he admitted that him and who he knows Umar personally. So I get it. But come on, man, you don't take Umar's clips from the Breakfast Club and try to make it seem like that's gospel talking about Dion. Dion made a business move, and I asked Solar, I even commented on the video because I didn't see the live, but he didn't respond to me. I asked him, how come in the 3 years that Dion was there and that administration was living high off the hog, why didn't they put a package together to try to keep Dion as their coach and bump him up to some money that was comparable to other coaches of his position? And I'm not even talking about your Nick Sabans and stuff like that because you can never do that. I'm talking about other entry level white coaches that's making in the millions, not 300,000. So you can't. And the problem is what Solar did is he never once put the blame on the administration. Everything was like, oh man, Dion did this, Dion did it all for show, Dion did this. But what about the administration? They reaped just as much as benefits as bringing in Dion. They brought Dion in. They didn't bring Dion in because they thought Dion was going to make their school a perennial powerhouse for years to come. They brought Dion in because they knew the recognition that they was going to get at the moment. So they paid the piper and they had to deal with the result. And now they dealing with it. They need to step up. If you can't play with the big boys, get the hell out of the damn kitchen. Dion made a business move, and I'm 100% okay with it. You hear that,
hold on,
Solar
wait a
Man?
minute, Trevor. Wait a minute, Trevor. Deion Sanders was making 3 times the average salary of the rest of that conference coaches.
HBCU coaches.
No,
HBCU coaches.
yeah, let's just deal with it. So what constitutes him making $1 million salary? If he was
His
already
name,
making his name.
his name, his name, and what he brings to the and what he brought to the table. You
So
remember, you the one
now
who
go
told me
ahead.
about all the. No, you the one who told me about all the
The
endorsements that they
sponsorship,
got,
yeah, the
the
sponsorships, yeah.
sponsorships.
But those
Them other
sponsorships,
coaches.
those sponsorships don't constitute him making $1 million $1 million a year salary. It doesn't. In
Hey,
fact,
okay,
I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm willing to bet you if we were able to find those numbers on those sponsorships, it still wouldn't be enough to pay him that much money. I guarantee you that.
I'm gonna bring in from Wrestling Wednesday. I see Venkat in the chat. Shout out to him. We talked about Macho Man. Macho Man brought the Slim Jim contract over to WCW, right?
Yeah.
And the Slim Jim contract is what basically paid his salary. So you mean to
Okay.
tell me that those endorsements that Dion got wasn't footing the bill for his salary? If
But
everybody
I,
else,
I,
if
I'm sure
everybody else,
because those endorsements weren't his personally. Those were the school's endorsements. They're not.
based
They
on
weren't.
from him though, they wouldn't
I
have got him
understand
if
that,
it
but
wasn't
we're
for
talking
him.
about dollar figure though.
And then you,
I'm
and
gonna
then
look
you
up. I'm
enter,
gonna look up those. I'm gonna see if they got numbers on them. I'm gonna give them to you.
you enter into a contract. You get the endorsements. You're not saying, okay, I got this endorsement as long as Dion's here. No, you have sensible people in positions that lock those endorsements in for 3, 5, maybe 10 years. So there's your benefit. And because Solar said he left them, he ruined them. Well, but my whole thing is now, like I said to you, nobody knew what a Jackson State was 3 years ago. But now everybody knows what Jackson State is, because of Deion Sanders. And that alone is worth his time there. That's it. He was able to do what has never been done before. He flipped the number one recruit and had him commit to a HBCU. I mean, now he's probably gonna follow him to go to Colorado, but he still did it. Cause my whole thing is we always talk about, oh, the 3 years, the 3 years. What were y'all doing prior to that? Nothing. Nothing. So you gotta get out of, and I ain't talking about you personally, MD, you know that. We just talking. But we gotta get out of this Messiah complex. Every black man is not our savior. And that's the problem. Dion didn't do no different from what any other coach said. I'm gonna build your program, I'm gonna be here for the long run. What made them think that his word was gonna be different from anybody else's? I'm done.
I mean, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, damn. I mean,
Solar Mind to become debate me on this.
yeah, I would like to see that. I would love to see that because, yeah,
if your debaters don't want to debate, come have this discussion with me.
no, I think the debaters want to debate. Is just, I think we need to have more people in the league. That way we can have more topics. Oh, that's, but I don't think,
But you know, Black Son,
yeah,
I think with it being the 10 is perfect. Like that's such a sweet number compared to like it used to be like 20 or 30. If that,
right.
I mean, because when you have so many people, you get so much bull crap, man. If you go back and listen to a lot of those debates, it was bull crap. But like
No,
if you got 10
yeah.
debaters, everybody debates each other once, you get like solid debates. Good. Like the debates that we've had so far have been fire. They're just not consistent enough.
Well, I mean, I guess. Ooh, you know what? You
Hey,
make.
hey.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, go ahead, man. I was just, yeah.
No. I just wanted to present something to Trevor real quick.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking at this article on Sports Illustrated, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
from December 7th. It says Nike and Under Armour at odds over Deion Sanders. I'm gonna drop down. It says, I'm gonna start here. In fact, after accepting the head coaching job at Jackson State, Sanders was influential in the school's new apparel deal. Shortly after Sanders took over the program, Jackson State and Deion Sanders collectively signed a 5-year apparel deal with Under Armour. Now, that's essential. Jackson State and Deion Sanders collectively signed an apparel deal with Under Armour. There why it matters. There was heavy speculation 2020. I'm gonna skip that. However, this is not the case. It's talking about the Under Armour deal. This past weekend in Boulder, Sanders wore a cap with clearly visible swoosh logo on the side. He wore that Colorado hat with the Nike on the side. This put Under Armour in a precarious situation with Jackson State and Sanders collectively signing the deal. It compromises the contract, leading to speculation that Under Armour will say that the contract was broken based off of Sanders' move to Colorado. It's also possible that Under Armour will get out of the deal with Jackson State because of this. So that's money lost.
So you done? No, I want to interrupt you. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
So let me ask you a question. If Dion went to go coach Oregon, wouldn't the same thing happen?
Well,
So
yeah,
you
any school, the same thing would happen. But what other coaches are signing collective deals with their schools on endorsements? No other coach is
but
doing that. Dion
but
did it
but
off of. Go ahead, go ahead.
but MD, so they signed a 5-year contract. They signed a 5-year contract. Now I don't know the language of the contract, but if they breach contract 2 years up, they may still have to be financially responsible, some way to Jackson State. So they may be able to pull their apparel, but you better believe Jackson State's going to get something from the deal. They have to. They signed the contract. That's why you sign contracts.
Well, that's not up to Jackson State if it's a breach or not, because they didn't do
No,
anything wrong.
exactly.
So how would you
Dion
still get paid off of a breach?
Dion moved over to Colorado. The big the Pac-12, yeah, they're in the Pac-12. They have a exclusive rights deal with Nike.
Correct.
So it's not necessary. It's not saying that Dion wants to wear Nike now that he's in the Pac-12. Now he has to wear the apparel company of his conference. It
I
ain't saying that
understand.
he's just doing it. He's not doing that just to shit on them.
Well,
So they
no, I'm
can't.
not
I
saying
mean,
that either. But you have to understand, based off of that article, the language of the contract was Deion Sanders and Jackson State collectively. Collectively meaning they did it together in one contract. Signed the Under Armour deal.
well, that furthermore shows you how terrible Jackson State is.
Yeah,
That
because
they would that they
no
would that
other
they
coach
would
would do that.
that they would give a coach that much power.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're
Knowing
right.
that
And
he
you're
could
right.
leave.
Jackson State is dumb. They're dumb for doing that. But it furthermore emphasizes how a jacked up position they're in right now with him leaving. That's all I'm trying to highlight.
Man, you want to debate on this?
Hey, man, hey, listen. That's just one example that I gave you, right?
No, man,
That's just what
hey, me and you.
I'm pretty sure that you could go to others. You just gotta find it. But like I said, we agree on the stance that we understand that coaches move on. Like that's a given. We both understand that. All I'm trying to emphasize is the expectation that was put on him, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent. The expectation that was put on him that was left dry when he left. That's all I'm saying.
So let me ask you: you a owner operator, or you work for a company?
I used to be an owner operator. I ain't got the
So
intestinal fortitude for it.
yeah, my dad, same thing with my dad. He rather work for a company. So, but what I'm saying is, so if you work for a company for 20, 30 years, and I mean you loyal to them, you real loyal to them. But then a big a big money contract come up, a chance that could get you out of work in a couple of years. I mean, and if you take that after giving these your company, I mean, you put in the miles, you as a model employee, and in Dion's case, put you on the map, got you on national TV, got you big money sponsorships. You don't think that if a better deal comes along, that the company should give you the blessing to leave, and they can't turn around and say that you left me in a worse off position?
Yeah, I most definitely that they'll probably give me their good graces, but at the same time, they're not losing any money with me leaving either. Let's give another situation. Let's say it's an upstart company with, I don't know, hell, me and another driver, and it's essential for me to have a certain amount of loads every week, and then I, I'm I'm doing what I'm expected of me, and then all of a sudden I just leave without a 2-week notice.
Yeah, well
not
then
yet.
you yeah,
Yeah, I could leave.
but he didn't though. I see a lot of this is speculation because we don't know what the language of his contract was or anything like that. So we don't know because most of these contracts they'll say like, oh, it's a 5-year contract, but there's a buyout clause after 3 years, or we don't know. We don't know that. I know we like, but here's my bigger point. Here's my bigger point. So we're easier is like we expect why can't anybody else do this? Why can't any other coach? And again, I'm not saying you. Any other coach could do this, and we just like, man, it's business. But when the black man does it, oh, he's not being loyal. He did, and in Umar's words, he didn't build up that he didn't build up that school like he should have. He owed them a debt where he should have built that program up and he should have took the whole HBCU on his back. No, he shouldn't have. No, the hell he shouldn't have. And that's what I'm saying. Why we always saddle the black man with the Messiah complex, and then when he don't fulfill it, we just be like, oh man, see that nigga was no good in the first place.
You're
We
right.
always
You're
do
right.
that.
We shouldn't.
We
We
always
shouldn't.
do
Right.
that.
Like you said, a
But
Messiah
but the
complex.
problem was he said it. I'm just
See,
basing
I
everything off
had
of
to.
what he said.
And you know what? I think Solar did play that because I think he did play his press conference at the beginning. So that's why I'm not even. And I hope Solar don't think Solar and Angel don't think I'm trying to disparage. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to get some stimulating conversation going here. But he made a take that I didn't agree with, and I want to challenge him on it. But his whole thing was just like the statement that got me was the whole Dion ruined Jackson State. And when I could tell you that Jackson State's administration ruined Jackson State. They had the worst facilities in the whole country, like some of the worst facilities in the country. Are they the teams that was taking a shower in the swimming pool or something like that? That's not a Deion Sanders problem.
Well, yeah, that was
That's
kind
an
of misleading.
institutional issue.
Yeah, so what they were prefacing was the whole thing with the water issue in Jackson. Like it
Okay.
got to a point where like people were taking showers in the pool because it was no water. The water was unclean. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that's another thing that Dion championed. And based off of all the information that I compiled about it, he just kind of let it alone at a certain point, which I don't agree with either. But hey, like that's a bigger issue collectively for the people. I'm not just gonna put all of that on Dion. But on the same token, like you did do a whole 60-minute interview about it. And then after the 60-minute interview, I didn't hear anything else. You know what I mean?
So it's funny that you say that. A lot of times, and I could always bring it back to home. A lot of times we work so hard all our life, but we don't get to reap any of the benefits really that we work for. You know who reaps that? Our children. So what's to say that now that he's gone, some of them things he complained about won't get fixed? You never know. You never know. Maybe they'll and at the worst, they'll get a upstart coach that'll come in and they'll want to prove something and say, all right, I'm gonna be here for the long haul. Like we never look at that type of stuff. It's just like, oh man, he left for the bag. He left for the bag. Meanwhile, every song that you hear on the radio tells you to screw that such and such, get your money and blah 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 blah. Everybody telling us to get the money, but what they saying is, I just want to get my money. You stay there and be our Messiah. That's really what they're saying.
Yeah. See, me, I,
And
I I
that
look at it from a different perspective. I don't even think it's about the money. Me personally, I don't. The money ain't. It's Deion Sanders. Money's not an issue for him. It's not. If
well,
he
we like
truly,
we say that MD, but I don't know, man. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like
It,
I ain't gonna, I don't feel comfortable enough going in another man's pocket to be like, and I know you're not doing that, but I'm just saying like to be like, oh, money not an issue. Yeah, he got more money than I'll ever have probably, but you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know.
I mean, from the outside looking in, I think he's good. My thing is, I think he's doing all of this because he's trying to baby walk his son into the NFL. That's just me. That's me speculating. Because I think if he was on his own, he wouldn't be good enough to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? But hey,
And I agree.
that's me putting my conspiracy hat on. But that's what I
But
think he's
what's
doing
wrong
all
with
this.
that though? But what's wrong with that?
I ain't saying nothing. A lot of people do.
Okay.
Hey, hey, bro, I got 3 sons that play football. Trust me, I know. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
just yeah.
Like, but that's what I think he's doing. He's holding his son's hand to be a quarterback someday. And from the stuff that I've seen from Jackson State, I don't think he's good enough to do it. And time will tell. You know what I mean? Time will tell. I mean, hell, he already done named his son quarterback for the damn team. So
Right.
I mean,
And
we'll see.
you know the sad thing about this though. Say he goes to Colorado. I mean, well they can't get. I mean, they was 1-8, so they can't get any much worse than what they already are, or 1-11, something like that. But say he goes to Colorado and just completely flame out. You know what's gonna happen then? Everybody gonna be like,
He gonna get
see,
destroyed.
see, you should have never left. See, because we hate success so much. That's the problem, man. We just hate success so much that it's just like it almost like feel like they low key be rooting for a man to fail, just so everybody could be like, "See, I told you so."
Well, I don't
Like
see that happening
I never
because
see it.
literally every kid coming out of high school right now want to play for Dion. So I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? So I mean, being a coach, with the little coaching experience that I got, your success weighs heavily upon your talent. So long as he got the talent, he's gonna be successful. You know what I
I'm
mean?
a
So I don't see that happening.
I'm a Florida State Seminole fan, so I wanted them to fire our coach and get Dion. So, so
Yeah,
if he would have left Jackson State to come back home, I would have been man, I'd have been over the mountain, over the hill. So happy for this. But
yeah,
you know, I want him to do good. It's just, I mean, it ain't. I mean, it is what it is. People
yeah,
only
yeah.
with us
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
temporarily.
yeah. I'm not. I ain't wishing like ill will on him or nothing. I'm just focused on the things that he said, the promises that he made, which were for the most part unfulfilled. Oh, he dropped off. That's all I'm focused on. I'm not saying I understand college football is a cutthroat bit. I understand that.
Right.
Hell,
Right.
football in general is cutthroat.
Yeah.
So, like that's not the issue. I'm just focusing on the things that he said that went unfulfilled. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, and things do change too. I know he made promises, but I mean, okay, Trevor's coming back on. All right, Trevor, you back on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know.
just
I
look
don't know
at
what happened.
It's
just
just
look at just look at the things that happened to him while he was coaching. One game he came back to the damn locker room in the coach's office and somebody stole all his stuff. You know what I mean? For a stretch, he had to go to the hotel and take a bath in the pool. Like a lot of stuff happened to him where he came to the realization, like, hey, like our community is jacked up. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure like he made strides to try to overcome that and try to build a successful community around Jackson State. I'm not saying that he just totally flopped and said, look, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is you would have thought, based off of the things that he said, that he would have put a support system in place knowing that he was about to leave in order to continue the strides that he had already made. Just on GP, you know what I mean? Being black, like like I said,
Uh-oh.
it's one thing. It's one thing being. What you mean? What you mean? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No. But
Uh-oh.
again, it's
I think
based
he's
off of what he said.
now
He
MD.
made Dion made it a black issue. I didn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He made it a black issue when he went to Jackson State.
What do you say to that, Trevor? I mean, MD's making a very good point there.
About establishing a support system. I mean,
Yeah.
so you wanted a succession plan, and with that,
Correct.
I'll tell you that that would never happen. That comes from administration. And again, I could look at Florida State. Bobby Bowden was the coach forever, but Jimbo Fisher was the succession plan waiting in the coach in waiting. That was an administration idea. That wasn't a Bobby Bowden idea. So the
But we're
administration
talking
had
about
to
two
do
different
that.
programs though.
Yeah, but what
You
I'm
just
saying,
admitted that they gave Dion way more power than he should have had. You
but the
just admitted that.
template with the template is there though.
Ah,
So I think we agree on so much that is like our whole point of contention, which sound like to me, is you just wish that there was somebody else there to take over for him after the fact if he was going to leave, like a fail safe.
yeah, because I mean, you keep saying the administration. I don't see anything that the administration like. I don't see any fault. Like, yeah, of course they were making money. I mean, they're supposed to make money, but I don't see any fault within in the plans of what Dion did that where you could put so much of the weight on the administration itself because me and you just admitted we just came to the conclusion that Dion had too much power in that system. And I don't agree with that. I don't think he should have. You know what I mean? I don't
That's
care. I mean,
administration
shit,
fault.
yeah, we want to build a program. I don't give a damn about every. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean there's that. Like, and look at
So
the school
so
he's going to. He's going to Colorado. Colorado is not. They don't have the system in place where their football program is built to a standard where they would have a system like that in order to control Dion. It's probably going to end up being the same situation where he's going to have again a power that he shouldn't have at a subpar
Mhm.
Power Five school. Like you
so
said, you
and
just
and
said
and,
Florida
and
State.
you're right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I want to ask you something different. But so finish what you was going to say.
No. But basically what I was saying was, like I said, with a team like Florida State, with my team, Georgia, teams that have proven track records within their football program, that's not happening. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You may have a little advantage with Florida State because that's where you're from. You know what I mean? But any other like any other SEC school, that ain't flying. I don't give a damn who you are. We trying to win like now. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's going to
Hmm.
Colorado. He ain't going to USC. He ain't going to Stanford. You know what I mean? He's going to Colorado, the cupcake of the
So
Pac-12.
so let me ask you. So let me ask you this, and we're gonna kind of change the subject a little bit. But I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna just show you our mentality. So um so everybody's up in arms about Dion, like, oh, Dion. So people are calling him a sellout. We're not calling him a sellout, but a lot of the majority is calling him a sellout, and a lot of it is coming from people that look like us. So my question is, in that same Mississippi, a famous white quarterback, Brett Favre, defrauded the whole damn welfare system. How come? How come nobody? How come nobody talking? How come we don't come at him with the same vitriol as we come with a man that just leveled up and got a better job?
Because Brett
Well,
Favre.
I say this about the whole Brett Favre situation. I ain't gonna put that on black people because it's people out there that are trying to get it out for whatever whatever reason. The media is not trying to get it out, and I find that suspicious, right?
Mhm.
But you do have a point, like because the media is not saying much about it, we tend to overlook it. That's problematic. Like I ain't gonna front and say it's not, but
But
I mean,
MD,
yeah, you got a point.
we we don't need the media anymore. The media
You're
is what
right.
we're doing right now
You're right.
because we
Most of the stuff that I've heard about Brett Favre been on social media. I ain't even hear it
exactly
from him. Yeah,
we talk about we talk we keep relevant what we want to keep relevant. So
Yep.
instead of talking about it's just like where I live in Florida. Um, everybody in Florida talking about this Dion thing, but nobody talking about the black girls that's being abducted from the Walmart up the street. It's becoming a serious thing now because nobody talks about that type of stuff. Man, I'm telling you, just us as a people on a whole, and this includes white people too. We're such star worshipers.
Mhm.
It's like whatever celebrities do, like it's like we just celebrity worshipers.
Yep.
And it's almost to a disgusting level. And that's why I often say I don't think we ever gonna get too far as a people until we get out of certain ways of thinking, and that's one of
yeah. Hey, Ted DiBiase was involved in that too. You know that, right?
them. Exactly. Yes, yep.
Yeah,
The,
they stole all
the
the
million
welfare
dollar
money,
man.
man.
Look at that. The $1 million man and the quarterback that have made about $300 million in his lifetime, still robbing poor people, and ain't nobody
That's
saying anything
crazy.
about it.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
crazy.
man.
That is crazy.
People could
Stole all the
barely
welfare money.
people people could barely pay their bills, and this look what they doing.
Yep.
Right. But
But
that says
that's the
more
government
about
we live in. That's the system we live in, though.
right. Yeah, that's the system. That says more about the system than anything else because they were giving those subsidies to those programs and not blinking the eye. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Instead of getting it directly to the people. Like that's the crazy part about it to me. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna give money away, in the facade of it being for welfare assistance, yet you give it to quote unquote nonprofits and not directly to the people that it's supposed to affect. Like, make it make sense. You know what I mean? And Brett Favre
It's
and
like
Ted DiBiase pocketed the money and walked away.
it's like I was watching something the other day, and it was talking about how Lakewood Church, that's Joel Osteen's church, got all these hundreds of thousands of dollars in PPP loans during the pandemic. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like that doesn't even sound right. That any company that makes that much money is able to still get PPP loans and then get them forgiven on top of that. It's like the checks and balances in this society in our system is just crazy.
That doesn't even make sense. Like how are you giving PPP loans to a uh, that yeah I don't understand tax free money to a tax free entity that I don't understand
Right.
how that
Hey,
works.
Exactly.
bingo,
Yep.
bingo.
Yep.
I don't understand how that works.
See,
And
that's what I'm talking
what
about,
that's one of the
man.
main things. That's one of the main things I'm a proponent on politically. Tax exempt status has to be abolished to these religious organizations. I don't
Correct.
understand how in the world, you know what I mean, are you giving tax exempt status to religious organizations?
You know why
And
though, right?
I mean I know why, but at the same time, like it's the logic behind it that don't make sense. You know what I mean?
What the reasoning is because they aren't supposed to be able to sway anybody to one party politically.
Right, but that's
So
that's
that's
no,
the reasoning for it.
But that's an oxymoron because you got Warnock sitting in the Senate right now. That's
you
why I
got
said I don't understand the logic behind it.
Exactly.
you got you got Jamal Bryant who he's very political, and that's the same clown that's talking about growing weed at the church. Like, oh boy, don't get me on the religious stuff, but yeah, man, everything's so backwards, man. That's why I don't criticize Dion for what he did. So maybe he could have had a little more tact about it. The one thing I didn't like was when he did the press conference at Colorado and he basically told the whole team go to the transfer portal. Like,
Yeah, like yeah,
that
come
was
on, man. Yeah,
that sucked, but
yeah, you out of line with that, man. You out of line.
you know what? If Dion had say in the 3 years he was at Jackson State, because let's reverse roles. He was at Jackson State for 3 years, and they had losing seasons all 3 years. You know he's getting fired, right?
Well, I mean, he essentially did the same thing when he came into Jackson State. Like he brought in the players that he
Nah.
wanted.
Answer my question though. You know he's getting fired, right?
I mean, yeah, he'll be out of there.
So what's the difference with him giving them 3 winning seasons? And how many didn't they win SWAC championships?
Yeah, they won the championship this year. Yeah.
Okay, and look at that. He gave him a championship. And what else does he have to do?
Hey, man, like I said, man, it's different angles you can go at it. Hell, he had 2 white boys on the offensive line at Jackson State too.
Because white guys are good old linemen. I mean, we know that.
I agree. I agree. I'm just saying, like, it's different angles you can go with it, man.
Give me a big country white boy from Iowa or Nebraska.
I'll take him every time. I'll take him every time. You're right. I will take him every time. But again, we're talking about and you can't take away from the perspective of the people there at Jackson State. You know what I mean? Like when Dion got there, it was the climate changed. I'm not, it is what it is. Like this is it's out of this world. You know what I mean? Like we got Deion Sanders. Like everything was times 10. So again, it's different angles you could take. Like I said, I'm not disputing anything that he did exiting Jackson State. I understand how coaching works. That's what coaches do, especially when you're trying to build from the ground up. But on the same token, we can't deny what was said by him in his own words. Like you got to take that into account at some point in time. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
It's an anomaly. It's not a situation where any other coach would get put in because they don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, a Jimbo Fisher, you know what I mean? Take any Power 5 coach. They don't have to deal with what Dion had to deal with. It was a certain standard put on him based off the fact that it was HBCU and he's Deion Sanders. He's a black man, a successful black man.
I would like to. I don't know if we can get a hold of it. I'd like to see the language of his contract though. Like, well, I mean, obviously there was an out clause because he's not there anymore. But I'd like to see what the wording in that was. Like, hey, there's a 5-year contract, but you could walk after 3, or it has to be a certain percent buyout. But I don't know why it would be a buyout when he was giving half his money back into the program. So it's basically like he was coaching the little league team. Basically, he was putting all his resources back into the team that he was coaching, and he made them relevant. And then bigger job came knocking on the door. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, only time will tell if Jackson State will deteriorate or not. Only time will tell that. We can't you know, like we can predict all day, but only time will tell how low the program will go without him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yanga jumped. Yeah. See, man, listen, I was supposed to be asleep, man, but you went live and I got the notification for this. I don't get notifications for the pop-up shows. But
Right.
I wanted to ask Yanga though about that title with him and Blue. I heard y'all talking about it
Oh,
earlier,
yeah, that
but
time.
what? Because Solar mentioned it yesterday. He said, "Is it better to be African American or Hebrew Israelite?" Is that the title?
Yanga said that the title was changed. That was the title, and then something about Black Israel, or I don't know, man. This shit is so fucking. It makes my ears hurt when I hear it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't
So,
know. Yeah. I don't know.
but Blue thinks it's better for Black people to be like. So I put in the chat like you could prove that you're American. You can't prove that you're a Hebrew Israelite
Exactly.
outside of the Bible. Like how would you prove that?
You can't even prove it in the Bible. Shit. Be honest with you.
I mean,
But
well,
yeah, but Yeager
no,
said
you can't
Israeli.
remember.
Israeli and Israelite is two different things.
Exactly.
Israeli is
Well,
is a
remember
nationality
exactly, but
to
remember,
an
you
actual
can prove
country.
it in the Bible. You can prove it in the Bible. You just got to identify by the curses. Remember, that's how they identify you.
Wow.
Well, Israeli is not in the Bible though. Israeli is a modern term.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. I'm like Israeli. What the hell? What is that? Like
If
that's
I'm
why
not,
I was confused.
if I'm not mistaken, I mean, Israelite isn't in the Bible either. It's Israel. Like and then they just added the light to it. But
Right.
God is always referring to His people as Israel.
Right.
He never called them Israelites. He said to the Jew first, and then to the Gentile. It's these Jews, Gentiles, Israel. He didn't call them Israelites. I mean, I would have to look again, but I don't remember anything where he specifically said Israelites. So that's something
Yeah,
that they made up too.
yeah.
It's
Thanks.
Hebrew,
And
you
you
know.
don't see the term. Yeah, it's Hebrew there. It's Israel there, but you never see the two in conjunction with each other. Hebrew
Yeah,
Israelite. You know what I mean?
that's
But
what I'm
like I
saying.
said,
It's
Israeli.
all
Yeah,
it's
Israeli.
a bunch of
That's
made up shit.
Yeah, it's made up. Yeah.
yeah. That I was
That's
confused as hell. I'm like Israeli. Like, what are we doing? Leaving and going to Israel? Or like, what's a black Israeli? I was like,
that's
what?
why that's why when I heard Solar say the title, I'm like, huh? But you say they changed it. Yeah, we definitely had to talk about this tomorrow. But
Yeah, we got to talk about
that's
this, bro, because it's
yeah,
really just, yeah.
I don't
Mm-mm.
know how you would man, I don't know how Blue would think he could win something like that.
But
I
see,
mean,
that's
but you
the
know,
thing.
Blue like
Blue is
to
the
go out of the
master.
box anyway.
Yeah, Blue is the master of like floating in the clouds. You know that, Trevor. And if Blue, as long as he can sound good doing it, then he
Yeah,
can, he has a way of razzling and dazzling people with, spookism and, all that other stuff, man. And Blues are good at that shit. So I think that's what is being banked on because, when it comes to reality, Yango will shut that shit down. I'm just keeping it real. Shout out to Blue, shout out to Yanga, but Yanga will, man, he will crush that shit. You know, as long as Yanga can grab on something tangible, he got that shit. But Blue's not. That's not Blue's strong point. Blue's strong point is like razzling, dazzling, spookism. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. Just like Lance,
That
yeah,
dark side magic.
yeah, Dark Side Magic, yeah. That's why he
Yeah.
couldn't hang in the Russia debate. It was too much reality, and that's why Rio was saved. So I mean, it is what it is. Temporarily, because if I face Rio, we were having that debate because he already said he liked it, so that's it. Unless Solar just say, "Oh no, we're not going to do it," then I guess we're not going to do it. Then, and I guess I don't know because I'm not doing
so
no
now,
religious debates. So there you go.
so now, listening to Solar though, yesterday. Well, I listened to it today,
Mm-hmm.
but he was basically saying more or less. that the debates are coming because he said that a debate was happening on December 10th. That had to be you might have to misspeak because today's the 12th and he
Right.
recorded that last night. So maybe he meant January 10th. I don't know, but
Oh, I don't
it
know.
seemed to me that more of the debates are taking place more in January, starting January,
Right.
just based on how the inflection I was getting on his voice was like, you know, it's going to be kind of slow now, and then everything was going to pick up, you know, in January. Because I know Angel even said that there was going to be a week in December that they wouldn't be available,
Right.
or
Right.
something to that effect. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just anxious for the debates to get on, just because it's like I say, you know, you can have really good debates, but if we're only getting one a month, you know, when everybody else is giving you, you know, three a week, whether they're good or not, it's like you kind of get caught up in a, you know, you get in a rhythm, you get in a kind of a rhythm almost where you're like, oh well, this maybe not that important because they're not giving it to me as
So
often as
you don't believe less is better, less is more, or that old saying? How do you say it?
less is more because there's 10 debaters.
Okay.
So you're getting less debates in a season. So you're getting more quality debates. So if everybody debates is what 10 debaters and you got to do 6 debates, 5 to 6, so you could end up with like 50 to 60 debates, whereas in times past you was getting double that because you had so many debaters and they were doing 8 debates. So that was overkill. But now the structure that it is now, the debates are more quality because it's less of them. So you don't want to. I'm not gonna waste one of my debates on some stupid ass, let's just say, flat Earth debate. You know, when I only got 6 of them. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I'm a make my 6 count. I'm not gonna waste it on foolishness. That was the problem last season. Like with Suave debated 16 times last season.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
remember.
I applaud him because a lot of what he did, he was giving other people that was low on debates, he was giving them chances to debate him and not take the points. So I'm not taking nothing away from him, but
Right.
it watered it down. It
Yeah.
watered the pool down because it's like, damn, didn't I just hear a debate like this? And then you
Right.
go hear
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs come and you're hearing it again. You're like, well, damn, y'all killing the market. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
So
that's why
the
I'm glad
structure,
they had the categories, even though two of the categories were the same when they had political and religious politics. I'm just like, yo, that's the same shit. What the fuck are we doing? So other than that, the rest of them are fine though. It's just those two are really the same. So I felt kind of pigeon-toed because when you deal with politics and religion, it's really one and the same if you think about it. So that's why I was just like, how are we doing the same thing twice? How are we doing that? And then I don't know. It just kind of baffled the shit out of me. So yeah.
let me ask you guys, MD, you still on there? Yeah. Let me ask you
Yeah,
guys a
yeah.
question. Do you think it'd be more beneficial now to push your kids towards a trade or college?
I mean, that's a tough question because you
Hmm.
know me myself, I look at it from a inflammatory standpoint as far as where the market is going to be and where value of currency is going to be
Hmm.
when my kids get that age. You know what I mean? Me knowing about trades, being a former electrician, with it's really not a increase in value of trades right now. Yeah, trades make good money, but there's no increase of value, not that I've seen.
Wait a
Just
minute, what do you
talking to
mean by that?
increase of value, meaning your worth and how the market moves will your value move, meaning how much you get paid. I haven't seen it,
But if
and
but
I'm
if you're
talking. I'm talking about from only one perspective. I can't speak for any other trade because I'm like I said, I'm a former electrician and my value never moved. And I worked many years as an
Well,
electrician.
I just look at it now, like look at all the money that's in truck driving, basically. 'Cause a good truck driver can make more money than somebody who got 4 or 5 years of college, right?
Yeah, of course.
And
Absolutely.
they don't come out with any debt. They're making their money right then and there versus having to pay back student loans and things like that. And most good trades are like a dying breed, like they don't teach you to be a mechanic in school. When I was in high school, we had auto body, we had like wood shop and things like that. I was in air conditioning and refrigeration for my whole time. They taught us like practical shit, because now if you call the AC repairman out to your house now, I mean, you got to pay him about $200 an hour easily.
Hmm.
What you gonna do? What job can you get in a 4-year college that's gonna pay you that?
Well, as far as things where you have to have formal education, if I were to tell my kids if they wanted to go that route, I would tell them to get in either I would it would have to be something tech based like IT
Hmm.
or
Right.
like I said, it has to be something tech based because that's the most marketable job right now in America is tech based jobs.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the job
absolutely.
that's moving a mile a minute in terms of value. Now I'm just looking at it from a value standpoint. When I was an electrician, I saw it, the ups and the downs of market value, and my value never moved. You know what I mean? You can really say the same about trucking. Like when I had my own truck, and it's crazy because uh, uh, it's a saying in trucking: when gas prices go up, loads go down. I don't know if you ever heard
Yeah.
that or not,
Yep.
and
That's
and it's true.
fact. That's fact.
For whatever reason, when inflation rises, a lot of uh, uh, labor jobs, like train labor jobs, they go down. Why? I don't know. I'm not an economist. I can't. I don't understand why. For whatever reason,
So
trades. Go ahead.
no, what year were you like an electrician? What was the year range? Well, you're younger than me, so it had to be,
Late 2000s.
yeah, late 2000. And so the market, I'm just thinking about, was it an oversaturation of electricians at the time? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. MD,
Oh,
you still there? I think MD might be having
yeah, he's muted. Hey,
muted.
I want to answer. I want to answer this question. Vancat posted. Brett Favre is absolutely worse because Brett Favre stole from poor people.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
he has who was worse, Brett Favre or Jerry Jones. Like, and Solar. It's funny because the second half of Solar's on video last night, he talked about Jerry Jones, and everything he said about Jerry Jones, I 100% agree with. But Jerry Jones did that at a time where that's what they were doing, and he was a kid at the time. I'm not absolving him at all. I say think he's a piece of crap for doing it. And then he's gonna act like he didn't know what he was doing there. But to me, Brett Favre is worse because Brett Favre stole from poor people. So
Right.
that's how
Right.
I feel about that. Damn, MD fell off. I really, damn, really
Yeah.
wish he
Yeah.
was still on. I want to ask
Well,
him about this electrician thing.
yeah. Well, we gonna do another show tomorrow, man. And then I just set up Wrestling Wednesdays. Okay, MD came back. Okay, hold on. MD back. Okay, MD's back on.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, my bad. I was getting calls left and right. I don't know why. What the hell?
No,
But yeah, I ain't hear
I
you.
was
I
asking
heard you
you.
saying you was asking me a question.
Yeah, I was asking you what like what was the year range that you were an electrician?
So I started my apprenticeship right after high school. So that was 2003.
Damn, you that
I
much younger than me, huh?
yeah, I got out of school in 2003. I'm 37. I'm 37.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So from that time up until um 2015.
so you think, oh, so you did it for what, 12 years? So
Yeah.
do you think at the time though it was the market was the industry was full of electricians, like, because a lot of times that plays a major factor. Like if you have too much of one thing, it drives the prices down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
now
it was.
you don't
It was.
whereas now you don't have enough. So now you could basically charge the arm and a leg now.
See, I mean, I still got good friends that are still in the union, and they're still making the same thing I was making then. It ain't no changes. See, I was a
Oh,
union electrician, so
oh.
maybe that play a factor because I was union. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
They're still making the same thing that I was making back in 2015.
Damn.
No changes.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And like I said, that may play up. Me being IBEW, that may have played a factor. I can't speak for an independent contractor. You know what I'm saying? And just to be clear, I hate unions. I despise them with a passion. I'm not a union person. You know what I mean? One of the reasons I left being an electrician was because of the union. But
Hmm.
that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they're still making the same wage as a journeyman electrician that I was making in 2015.
Wow.
So there's that.
It was
Of
just
course.
interesting.
No, I was just gonna say, of course, rates change based on where you're at in the country. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that in consideration too.
It was just interesting because I heard a conversation today and again about religion. Everybody and I think religion is used so much as a crutch.
Yep.
Because I remember when I first got into the church in like late '90s, and I was thinking about going to college. I had members in the church telling me, "Don't go to college. You should just stay
What?
here and serve the Lord." I'm like, huh? And then and I was so naive. I was like, okay, well maybe that's the right thing to do because I don't want to go to hell. It's like, so we use that crutch,
Mm.
and instead of our teaching our kids like to do trades, and it's not bad being a plumber and AC man and driving trucks and stuff like that. All we teach them is, oh no, you need more church, more church. Oh, stay in the church more, stay in the church more. And then they just end up being a over church, underpaid, just no good to society. Can't function because that's all they know is church.
Well, Trevor, you got to bear your cross. Jesus
Yeah.
bared his cross. Yeah, all that bullshit.
Hey,
See, like I said,
that's
it's
crazy, man.
always a balance. I believe there should be a healthy balance, especially in our society. With our people in our community, it should be a healthy balance between the skilled trades and your traditional white collar positions. Now, with that being said, what our issue is that we form this imaginary hierarchy between the two. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's the issue. That goes back to STEM versus the talented 10.
That's a good
That's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? But like part of that is our fault. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna discourage my kids either way, whether which way they choose. I just want them to be successful in whatever path, you know what I mean, they take, and not necessarily, be in a position where I was, I was, half-assing it, you know what I mean? I want them to go full throttle either way. But it needs to be a not necessarily a happy medium, but it needs to be a balance. A balance between the two. STEM is important. Like it's real important. Because STEM is what makes, like the calls go around and work. You know what I mean? But we have to understand that the way the society as a whole is moving, tech is the way to go. You know what I mean? Tech, right as of right now, tech is what's going to always increase in value, because that's just the society that we live in. Tech is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the sky's the limit with tech. Like, you know, I mean, you got cat. I mean, you talk about Twitter. You got cats that did 4 years IT making well over six figures, and some in the twos to threes. You know what I mean? Just off of IT alone, IT bastards alone.
Yeah.
So that's where the value is. If we talking about market value, that's where the value is. IT, and big tech.
So my last question for the night though, what do you guys think about like putting your kids out at 18?
I'm all for it
You are.
because only
I
because
yeah.
well, I guess it's just different people. I've seen people become so dependent where it cripples them. Um, I've seen people. It's like the sooner. Now, let me tell you a true story. I went to Publix the other day, and it was like one, two, three, four, five workers that are not even in high school. They're in junior high working, and I was like, yeah, that's good right there. And first of all, I was like, damn, labor laws allow it. Apparently, it does. So yeah, I saw some young. They weren't even in. Man, they were young, but they were
It's
work.
15. It's limited 15 in Georgia. That's what the age is. But you can
Oh,
work 15. Like it's limited. It's only a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
Like you can only work
okay,
Yeah. I
like
think
20
you can only
hours.
do like 4 hours. Yeah, you can only do 4 hours
Yeah,
a day.
20. Yeah, 20 hours total.
right. So the reason I say yeah, 18. I mean, this I don't know. I mean, it's like my family. We've been working since we were in our teens, and so I think the sooner you start working, then you become less dependent on your parents because when you depend on your parents, you value money less. And when you value money less, then you're less likely to manage your own money. You're less likely to be think long term, responsibly like, okay, I want a car. Let me put aside this money and manage this money. You know, if you just splurge spending because you're living with your parents, that could actually cripple you. So that's why I'm all for moving out at 18.
Well, let me say this, and the reason I ask is because I just look at like in our community, um, parents are so quick to put the kids out at 18, and I left when I was 18, so that's
Okay.
not. I'm not saying anything that didn't happen with me. I left when I was 18 when I got my own place after I
Okay.
got discharged in the Navy and everything like that. So,
Right.
and, I've been working since I was like 15. So
Uh-huh.
that's that's not the issue there,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean that was a good thing. I just like to stop. I stop and think sometimes. What if the parents let the kids stay there until they really could get like financially stable and get out on their own? It's like,
Yeah, I agree
and
with that.
I'm not saying live there till you're 30, but if you look at like a lot of wealthy families,
Uh-huh.
they have like these big family properties where multiple families live on the property and they do everything together. I'm just saying, like, how come you never see shit like that in our community? Like, we don't do that. Like, my daughter, I got a very young daughter, but my daughter don't have to leave here, until she gets married. Like, this is her house. I bought this for her. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in no
Well,
rush. Oh, she's
Trevor,
18, she got to get out and.
Trevor. First of all, we're not a monolith people. So I just told you what my family and my family tree did, but I know it's just people are different. Whatever, there's no one way. And that's the problem with black people. I think we always look for that one only solution, and there's no one only solution, you know? And
Yeah,
that's
because
what
my
I'm
situation was way different.
right. All our
Like me,
situations different.
yeah,
Yeah.
me and my mom had me as a teenager, and we lived with my grandparents. You know what I mean? But the thing was, she was paying rent. You know what I mean? She was paying. She had half the utilities and all that. And then when I came of age, my first job was at 16. I had to pay rent. So I'm like, damn, like I was 16 making like damn near $200, and I had to cut that check to grandma and granddaddy. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I'm like, damn, like but it was a lesson for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I left home uh after I got my German license. So I didn't leave home until what, 18, 19, 22. I was 22 when I left because I couldn't afford no apartment, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Not
Right.
not off of apprentice wages. I couldn't do it. But I was paying rent at my grandparents' house.
Right.
So, I don't think you necessarily have to like get them up out of there, but you just have to teach them life lessons. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Exactly.
that's why I said each individual case is different because I mean, some kids want to sit around and smoke weed at their mama's and daddy house and just don't do anything. But yeah, it just depends. It's like I said, it's not a one size fit all situation. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
yeah, there's I'm one who really believes there is no one answer because we as black people, man, we just unique. And then that's why I said again, people got on me about when I said black people on record. Individually, man, it's like we thrive more, but when we try to come together as a group, it just don't work because we all have these different ideas. We all have these different directions, and we bicker and fight over the directions, but we're all different people. But if we go our separate ways and all that, do individual, it seems like we, as it's on record, we thrive better as individuals, like your Oprahs, your I don't know, your Michael Jackson, whoever. It just seems like and then when people say, "Oh, well, they sell out," and that's why I said you use that term too loosely because it's like, what are we? First of all, who is the leader again? I always ask that question because if there's any leader of black people, it's going to be me. If it's not me, then I'm not beholden to anything that like what. See again, let me go back to, and I was trying to explain this to another brother. I'm part of a militia, Georgia 3%. I'm part of the New Black Panther Party. I was part of different organizations. So I don't consider anybody. I don't know who I had this conversation with. I think it was about Kanye. I think I was talking about. I think yeah, me and Inyame had this conversation, or was it me and you, Trevor? I think we had this conversation. And I don't consider anybody to be a civilian as a sellout. You got people that are in militias and the military and the police that have a brotherhood that have an oath, and then you just got regular people out here. These entertainers and Kanye's, they never got no pamphlet on what being black is, what they have to be committed to. And just like with Deion Sanders, I mean, he's doing business. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what coaches do. Coaches look for opportunity and they look for something better. That's just capitalism. So yeah, individually, we master capitalism at its T. Why was like, and then people say, oh, that person is a sellout. Okay, when did Kanye or Deion Sanders or any of these people agree to socialism, because that's what it is. You either got capitalism or socialism. So when did black people come together and say socialism is the system for black people? And if you don't go by it, you're a sellout. If you're a capitalist, you're a sellout. We were born in capitalism. So what the hell are we talking about here? So of course we're going to
Yeah,
be good at capitalism because we're born into capitalism, and that's what we know. And nobody in Black America has lived in a socialist country. So what the fuck are we talking about at the end of the day? That's why
yeah.
this is
I agree with
Hey,
that, but to Trevor's point, it's a thin line between individualism and I'm an individual. There's a thin line between individualism and capitalism and a socio-political collective, right? Well, a great example of that is if we would have been more socially conscious of our surroundings. And I, me being younger, I'm looking at like my grandparents and my parents' era. If we would have been more socially conscious then, as far as our economics went, in the neighborhoods that we lived in, we wouldn't be necessarily dealing with gentrification now. You know what I mean?
exactly.
In terms of leaving the home at an early age and leaving and not really caring about the property once our parents and grandparents died.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's a thin line, that you have to look at in
But
terms of
indeed,
being. Yeah, go ahead.
but that still works in the realm of capitalism. So because I've had that situation happen in my family. That I could point to many cases where grandmama, big mama left the house and grandpa died away, and I hear that that's still a part of capitalism. So you're doing what's within the obligation of your family. So I can go turn around and say, well, Kanye, whatever he's doing, whatever shock jock radio he's doing in the benefit of his family. Like we don't know what type of as long as you remain relevant in this world, if you do shock jock shit, if it works, if it brings you money, it brings you attention. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people on the internet do that shit. So why are we surprised? We like, oh, well, Kanye said he loves Nazis. Okay, but y'all talking about him though. Y'all making him relevant. So why are we mad at him? Like, what the
Yeah,
hell? Like,
yeah,
so
but I understand that, but to reel it back into the original point,
okay,
talking about leaving the house or whatnot, you got to understand a lot of yeah, it's a view on capitalism because we're looking at it from a viewpoint of our family, but
yes,
we can't not consider the other families surrounding us because those families affect my property value as well as my taxes where I am.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
you got to
agree.
understand when it comes to gentrification, a lot of people that wanted to hold on, they couldn't because once other families left and those white people start coming in, driving the market value up on those properties,
Yeah,
they simply couldn't afford to pay the taxes anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it like I said again, it's a thin line. We
it
have
is a
to
thing.
understand. We have to understand. Yes, it's in. I'm looking out for my individual asset, right?
Right.
But at the same token, as a community, what you do with your asset affects me and my asset.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So again, like individualism, that's I stand on it, but I also understand the socio-political dynamic of it all. That's what I'm saying. And again, that goes
Yeah,
back. We wouldn't have to deal with any of this if we had equal value in this country. That go back to reparation. Different topic, different day.
Yeah,
I
but
just,
even oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
no, go
Trevor.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I just think that I think a lot of times though, like even though I left at 18, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know, and me and my dad always have a tremendous relationship, so I could always call him for pointers and stuff like that. But
Facts.
I just think like we put these kids out um earlier than they're really prepared to be out because 18 doesn't mean that you're an adult. Like you're not ready for an adult world at 18 just because you know you're legal now and things like that. Um I just think we put the kids at a disadvantage a lot of times and don't set them up really for to really be all they could be. Because then you put them out in the world and they struggle. They still have to come back and ask you for money and stuff like that. You know, they fall behind, they fall in debt, they just do. Whereas if maybe they could have stayed home for a couple more years, paid you some money or whatever, but just learn within the house how to be a productive citizen, man, then we'd make better human beings, and we wouldn't force people to go live in like low income areas and shit like that, and maybe our communities would just be a lot better. But you know,
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But how it sounds with you, Trevor, you were already at advantage because you had your dad in the house. You know what I mean? I guess I would be considered at an advantage because I had my grandpops. You know what I mean? Even though he was a gambling addict, but at the same time, I still had those
Values.
values that
Mhm.
he instilled in me. You know what I mean? A lot of us ain't got that. That's just what it is. You know what
I've
I mean?
always had my dad. I didn't grow up with my mom, but I've always had my dad though.
Yeah, but it's an advantage because it you can relate more to your father than
That's right.
anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hmm.
So even though you didn't have your mom, like your dad, that's where your values. I'm just talking about us as men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I had my grandpa. He instilled values in me, both positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw some of the jacked up stuff he was doing. But I
oh
still,
yeah,
yeah, I still related it to like men on men interaction. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of us, they don't, like, most of my friends didn't have a dad or a granddad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Having had my like, I think having my dad is, like you say, it was a blessing and a blessing and a curse because he instilled so much in me, like hard work and all that stuff. But then I also got to see that side of like what I didn't want to be when it came in regards to women, like treating women a certain way. Because a lot of my earlier mannerisms and stuff was based on what I saw from him, and I think that was probably the void that was left without having a woman in the house to kind of give me that softer side. Like a lot of times I hear these boys and they talk so feminine and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, they probably they were raised around a bunch of women. They take the woman's characteristics. I didn't have that. It was just me and my dad. So I didn't have to deal with that, but I got the good and the bad from it. I got the discipline, I got the hard work, but then I also got to see that the ugly truth sometimes. That everything ain't peaches and cream.
yeah, yeah, most definitely with that. I think with fatherhood in the house, it's usually like that because you got to think, and I'm even like basically duplicating the same scenarios because we work so hard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
and 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 when we get to the house, it's things that we don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? It's things that we try to cope with whatever situation, whether it be the work week or situations at home, and we don't realize, like, especially if you got sons. Like, I got three boys, yeah, and I can see the impression that I'm leaving on them as far as like when I'm there. That's one of the reasons I turned my truck. I sold my lease truck because I wanted to be more with them. You know what I mean? For them not to be like always in there with them. They don't. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother
yeah,
scenario. But yeah, yeah, man. Like, trust me, I know about it. Like, when my granddad got home, like, man, it wasn't no it you could barely bother him with anything unless it was work related, like doing stuff around the house or stuff like that. That's just I don't know what it is. With men, man, I guess that's just how they show affection. Like, and I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard for me to try to show affection to my kids because I wasn't brought up like that. You know what I mean? But I'll show my affection by showing them something that my granddad taught me, like house stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whether it be cutting grass or building something, or, that's just how we do it. I
You
can't
know how
explain.
we show affection. Like we think showing affection is coming home every night. It's like,
Yeah,
but I think
yeah,
when you have daughters, though, it's different, man. Because like my little girl, she, as a father of a little black girl, especially you want to be there because you need to protect her. You feel like you got to protect her from everything. So it's just like, so it's kind of different. But I know, like, growing up, man, my dad, he would just come home and just be a grumpy old man. And I knew it wasn't any indictment on him. It's just that he worked a hard, shitty ass job, and when he came home, all he wanted to do was drink a beer. And
exactly.
and now that I'm in my 40s, I find myself doing that too. I come home from a long, hard day of work, and I just want to come inside and drink a beer.
That's
But
it.
then I got to remember, like, I'm married, and I got a little girl who doesn't understand that daddy's tired. She just sees, hey, my play toy is here, so now I gotta spend time with her and do things like that. So there's always a
Yeah.
balance you got to find in this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's definitely different with girls. Yeah, I'm glad I ain't got
yeah.
one. It's definitely different.
See, I always wanted a girl, so I got what I wanted. Angel Snupnut had put up a comment. I thought you were gonna put it on the screen, but man, I done really overstayed my welcome. I gotta get out of here, man. I should have been sleeping 2 hours ago.
Yeah, no problem,
I
man.
got I,
Take it easy,
I
Trevor.
gotta I gotta
We'll see
get
you tomorrow.
I gotta get up 4 o'clock in the morning, so do it all over again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I,
Shit, I got to get up 4 o'clock too. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Same
yeah,
here.
thanks for having me on the panel. Piece of the chat.
Man,
Um, y'all like my new name change?
Trevor the Leveler. I like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah.
If you know what it's in reference to, then it'll be real funny. But
I'm lost. What is it
yeah,
reference
man.
to?
No, your buddy over on the other channel calls me Trevor the Unclever, so I'm letting her know that I'm very clever.
See,
Oh, oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see.
I was over
I
there.
can't. Yeah,
Trevor,
I don't either. So
I only got one quick. Did she cure cancer yet?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
I hope
okay,
she
that's all.
I
Yeah,
I'm not,
yeah, yeah.
I
So I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
man.
I'm
Unless I'm getting news, she done cast a spell to cure cancer. I don't really. Yeah, I'm not
I
concerned.
don't know. I just think it's funny that somebody who doesn't know me would talk shit about me. So I'm just playing along with her a little bit. She thinks that I'm unclever because I get on the panel with you. So I gotta let her know
you
that
better
I'm
chill
I'm
out, man, before she build an altar on you, man.
Right.
that shit does. Listen, hey, I survived 25 years in the Christian church. Ain't shit you can do to me.
Right.
She gonna go to the altar on you, man. I warned you.
That shit don't work on me.
I just want to know why she can't put her cancer on the altar and cure herself of cancer. That's all I want to know. I'm
Hey,
just,
I don't want nobody to say I'm slandering them, so I don't know nothing about that part. I'm just saying,
Oh, okay.
I just wish we could all get along, but we can't. So whatever.
Yeah.
But I,
All
but I
right, man.
am,
Well,
but
get some
I am.
sleep, man.
Yeah, man. Let me take my ass to sleep. So I'll
Yeah.
see. I'll wrap with you guys tomorrow.
All right.
All
So
right,
yeah,
man. Peace.
tomorrow
All
6:30. All
right,
right, y'all.
peace.
All right, peace. All right, y'all. So shout out to Angel Snupnup7. Shout out to you. Shout out to MD20. Shout out to Venkat
Yeah.
Williams.
Yes, yeah. Definitely shout out to Angel Snub Up Seven.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what happened. I sent you the link. I did the show with him before this one. I don't know exactly what I came on a little late because I was still working.
Okay,
So
okay, okay,
yeah, I don't know, but it's all good, man. We had a good discussion over there as well.
okay,
Everybody
okay.
go subscribe to
Yeah, absolutely,
Reality Temple on Earth channel. We got some projects that we want to work on over there as well. I spoke to Brother Talik about that. Involving OEM Operation Exodus Mississippi. So um, be on the lookout for that as well, and more discussions on Operation Exodus Mississippi. But
absolutely,
yeah, other than
absolutely,
that, yeah, that's what's up. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
absolutely. Shout out to Nyame. Yeah, shout out to Angel Snap Up, man. Definitely, definitely, man. Y'all go subscribe to Reality's Temple on Earth. Um, support that brother, Venkat Williams and Nyame. Shout out to Nyame. Shout out to Trevor. Y'all check out Trevor's show, Straight Talk with Trevor. Let's see. Planet Fitness, she has a channel. Y'all subscribe to Planet Free Spirit. I said Planet Fitness. Oh my gosh. Deacon Reality. I know I'm sleepy as hell. Goddamn. And Yanga, man. Shout out to Yanga. Man, we yeah, like I said, tomorrow we're gonna do Champions Corner tomorrow at 6:30, and then we got Wrestling Wednesday at 6:30. So y'all definitely don't want to miss those shows. Then we got Trevor. Hopefully, Venkat. Hopefully, Venkat will join us on Wednesday. Venkat, you're more than welcome to come on any of these shows, man. On any of the panels, you're more than welcome, brother. And Angel, you definitely want to see you back on the panel, man. You hadn't been over in a while, so hey, man. Um, Whenever you feel like hitting that link, man, please hit that link. And yeah, man. MD, man, if you could do a little, I wanted to talk about, like I said, that Russia Iran situation. So maybe we could talk about that too, man. A little bit about that tomorrow, if you up for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at it tonight. I'm about to get ready to go to sleep here in a minute. But I'll
Okay.
well. So when did this happen?
Happened today. They met at
It
Pack
happened
today.
today. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. If
Yeah.
yeah, if it happens today, I definitely don't know about it.
Yeah. It's
Man,
fresh. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been busy since sun up, man, to sundown.
Well, it's very interesting because this happens right on the heels of, because Putin, he told Biden he's willing to do more prisoner swaps because the GOP is up in arms about that Marine. So um, Putin said, "Hey, we could do more prisoner swaps." You know what I'm saying? It don't have to end with Brittany Grinder and the dealer of death, whatever they call them. Man, they say, "Yeah, we could do more." So
Yeah,
he's open up for maybe it could be some peace talks. I don't know, man. I mean, they don't.
but that just goes to show you that you know the aggressor was never Putin. That just goes to show you. You know
Facts,
what I mean?
facts,
Like
facts.
none of this diplomatic stuff would be happening if there was a clear threat to definitely the United States, but any of the NATO countries. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So like and it's crazy and that's the issue with Biden. Like he on the outside looking in, he's looked at this like heavy progressive type president, but he's far from that. Like
Exactly.
Biden is moderate as hell. Like
He's a blue
Biden is
dog.
purple basically. He's purple. He's purple.
Yeah. Yep. Blue dog
Like
Democrat. Yep.
he moderate as hell.
Yeah.
And the fact that we try to parade him around as this progressive politician is baffling to me. But again, we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
Well, they trying to make Biden fit into this narrative, man. And like I said, and like we talked about yesterday, he took a big risk with Brittany Grinder, and I think they trying to, it's politically it's a bad move. I see what he's trying to do. Honestly, I see what he's trying to do. Be this whole progressive but it's not. It wasn't a fair trade. So, anywho, I mean,
Yeah, but he's gonna have to do something. So now that we're talking about it, now he's gonna have to do something to offset it. That's what
yeah,
makes him moderate.
yeah,
Like if he was truly progressive, he wouldn't give a damn what the GOP was saying. But now you see it. I can almost get now that you said that, I can almost guarantee it'll be another swap sometime in the near future.
it'll
You know
probably
what I
be
mean?
sooner than you think because I think they've already worked out a deal with the Marine. I think they've already talked about it because now they're putting it in the media now and they're talking more. I think they've already worked out a deal. I think Putin's
Right.
already put that on the table.
So with that being said, again, he's trying to save face with the GOP. That's what makes him moderate.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
But again, it's still not gonna stop them making the Brittany Griner situation a talking point.
No,
It
it's
ain't gonna
doing.
stop
Yeah.
it.
No.
But
That's
he's trying to save face somewhat, and he's been like that with most of his policies. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
do.
but yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely. Because like you said, that what he did with Brittany Griner, I mean, I'm glad she's home, man. Shout out to Brittany Griner. But politically, yeah, that was one of the dumbest moves ever. But but I'm glad it happened. But at the end of the day, because I don't want black people to misunderstand me and you, MD. We happy that she's home, but politically, that was political suicide with that trade.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to be saying that, I'm grateful for the situation, but
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
me politically, I look at it as I'm not right, wrong, and different about any of it. It is what it is. You did you put yourself in that compromised position. Ain't nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but Trevor, you did say a couple of months ago because I asked you about it. You said, "No, it's not a fair trade." You said, "Black son, you talking about a basketball player versus the killer?"
yeah, it's not. It's not.
I know it's not. I
It's
know.
not. That's
Right?
that's why I feel indifferent about it. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Hey, you,
I wouldn't lose any sleep with her being in there a couple more extra months. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to lay it down. Shouts out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Yeah, man. We'll do this again tomorrow, man. Shoot. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Peace, Trevor. Peace, MD. Thanks, bro. All right, y'all. And we out. I might do a pop-up show tomorrow. No. Hell no. We got a show tomorrow and we got a show Wednesday. Y'all be ready for Champion Circle tomorrow at 6:30. And then following that on Wednesday, we got Wrestling Wednesday. So we got shows for y'all. And I'm gonna have Nature Mom send the clip so we can play and see her band during FIFA because I'm still looking for that. So all right, y'all, we out. Peace.